Hey, Sush, what's up?
Hey, Sush. Don't make it bad.
So there was a tag going around a long time ago called Bookish Beginnings, and Sushila from Oh Hey Sush just did it recently and tagged Yikesaband, really. First question. What you loved to read as a child? I thought I'd show two things. The first one is Beatrix Potter, tiny little books. These were really what shaped me like as a tiny kid. I read these all the time when I was really young. And now my daughter Rudy loves them very much too, right? Oh, poop. But I feel like this one really shaped me more as like the reader that I am today, which is Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret by Judy Blume. I was obsessed with this book in like 5th and 6th grade. I probably read it like once a month. I would read it and then read other books and then like come back to it. You can see that, I mean, I loved this book. It doesn't have a cover anymore, it's falling apart, but I still have it because this was a huge part of my life for so long.
And for me is Clive Barker's The Thief of Always. This was probably the first real chapter book that I remember reading or really enjoying. So I had a lot of goosebumps, but this was the first bigger kid book that I ever read, and I loved it very much.
He had me read it as an adult. It was really good.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. The first adult fiction you read. Thank you. I actually did have this assigned to me as a school thing, To Kill a Mockingbird. There's really not much to say about it. Yeah, amazing book.
I'm not exactly sure what my first adult fiction book was. I know one of the first ones was Fight Club. I was, especially in high school, a big fan of the movie. This is not the first copy of this that I ever had. The first one I had Brad Pitt and Edward Norton on the cover, and
the first classic you read not for school. This was the first book that popped in my head. It was Rebecca. It looks like a romance novel. I did like this book, but I didn't love it. I think it was really, I was at a different point in my life when I read this, but it was too descriptive for me. I felt like there was parts where I felt like I started like almost skimming the paragraphs because there was so much detail. I would love to revisit this at the age of 33, almost 34.
My classic book is The Hobbit. Like To Kill a Mockingbird, there's really nothing you can say about it that everybody doesn't already know. So I'm not going to say anything about it other than I loved it. I think it is in many ways, dare I say, almost a perfect book. Love this book, kiss it.
The next one is a book that made you realize a new favorite genre or writing style. I'm actually going to go with something in recent life because I haven't really strayed too much from what I read. Shortly after turning 33, I read my first ever graphic novel, Forming, by Justin Moynihan. He worked on the show Adventure Time, and excuse me, with some birthday money of my own, I purchased this. And I read it in one sitting because I loved it so much. First literary prize winner is really, I don't know. I probably...
Also, too, I remember seeing these like on books when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. I probably read children's fiction prize winners at the age of 5, you know, so I don't know. But
Right.
One of the ones that sticks out to me the most as a book that me loving reading, you know, in a chapter book setting, was The Giver. And this was another school issued book. Really good book. And I remember thinking as I read this in 7th grade, I would love to name my child Jonas.
Translated book.
Fiction.
That manga. I love this book, so if it wasn't the first one that I read that was translated, it was the first one that I loved. Just look at all these pages.
Oh my god.
I'm a Robin fan.
Oh, he's cute.
The idea of, you know, taking a familiar set of characters and putting them in a completely different cultural landscape is extremely appealing to me. In between the comics, it has stuff like this, bootleg toys and accessories that were sold in Japan.
So I am choosing Lone Wolf and Cub We were actually in one of our local comic stores and I said to Caleb, do you think they have anything that's just samurai? And I think there's like space samurai, future samurai. When we saw this one, I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what I've always dreamt of. So I got it and I loved it. This is #1 out of many. The last question is, why did you start a BookTube? What was it like to film and upload your first video? I actually will say I don't consider us BookTubers. I don't consider us any tubers because we're not consistent enough with it. I like to follow a lot of BookTubers, so I think that's kind of how like maybe we got rolled in with that a little bit because we interact a lot with other BookTubers. So it's hard to answer this question.
Then the first video that we did together was with the microphone one?
Yeah.
From the start, I think our motivation for making videos always ties back to the band and music. But, you know, because we love other things, we love film and we love books and art in general. Thank you for watching us.
Thanks, Sush.
Thanks for tagging us and motivating us to make another one of these. It's hard. We moved in a new house and being very busy. Sorry. We blew it. All right. Bye.
Bye, guys.